Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to Create Every Day in April. Today is the 26th of April and we are almost done. Can you believe that? This month went by so crazily fast. All right, so I have already poked holes into our book, our spine and everything, and we're going to go ahead and sew in our signatures. If you want to see how to do that, I do have some other videos on how I make junk journals. I would not say that I'm the best at it, but if you want to see, we will be making another junk journal coming up in May, but I can do a process video on how I do it. But there are many people. Just type in junk journal signatures and you'll see what other people, like people that like junk journal people. It's a lot of people that just do junk journals here on YouTube. So those people will probably be better than I would. But if you still want me to do it, you watch some videos and you're like, I'm not happy with what I saw, let me know. Don't say it like that, but let me know in the comment section and I will or send me an email and I will try to do that for you. So I only have two signatures. My holes, I have 6 holes for 2 signatures. We're doing a basic stitch and we're going through our second hole at the top. Just gonna pull down. And I pulled off a lot of this baker's twine. This baker twine that I'm using right now came from Tuesday morning. It was 79 cents. That's back in the day when Tuesday morning prices were not going up. And I keep saying the bankruptcy that they declared last year and some of the store closings that they had could contribute to the high prices. But prices are higher all over in the craft, in the world, in the crafting community, in general. I watched a video where the frugal crafter was talking about people saying that some of the Arteza markers were not good anymore, and they were saying that a lot of companies had to shut down, and a lot of our products are from China. I went through the wrong hole. So a lot of the products that we get are from China, and they shut down a lot. They closed operations in 2019 on some of the places. So I could see resources being a little bit more expensive. So you see how we have this line right here going here, and then this is how it looks on our back. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece and you're going to come through this hole. I don't know if we're going to cover this up because I really want to use black. Right here I thought black would be really nice, but also it's not thin enough. It's not like a cord. I don't have a black cord at the desk, and I cannot keep getting up, sitting down, getting up, sitting down. I'm having muscle spasms. So yeah, we're gonna use what we got, okay? And we'll try to pretty it up. I thought about putting some buttons because I don't think I've used buttons but maybe once this year. And I like buttons, but I probably like buttons more to collect than to use. So we're going to try to put this through here without going through the other card because we don't want to split the fibers in the paper, in the card, that is. I have so many projects that I want to try and get done. So we will not be doing CREDA in May because it doesn't make sense. Create every day. It won't be CREDA, it'll just be crafting every day in May or whatever. But I have a plan. I have a plan. I want to just try my best once I get through this bout of muscle problems that I'm having. I'm going to try, and I still, even though I didn't want to go through it, I still went through this little piece, and it looked like I went through it on that way out. What in the world? So I'm just trying to untangle that. Yep, there we go. And now I'm just going to put this to the side, and I'm going to adjust the book, and I'm going to pull these right here, because you don't want your book to be loose. Definitely not loose, okay? And so I think that's good enough. Now we're going to cut. And Here we go. So now that we got our first signature in our book, it looks like this. It's not loose, anything like that. I'm going to take my string, one of the strings. I tend to do this. I don't know how I got back through there. And I like to tie a knot underneath this, like that. And I tie 2 knots. The thing about the knot tying is, let's just say if you were a junk journaler or a junk journal maker and you wanted to add something to it, you could always take your knot out and, you know, add more stuff to it, if that's what you wanted to do. Or if you feel like the book just wasn't aesthetically pleasing to you, you could take some pages out. But I like it. I do. Oh no. Oh yeah, okay, good. You know, I screwed up the back. I was like, oh no, did I do the back? But let's just make sure all the lines are in the spot that's supposed to be in. And no issues. Yeah, we're good. We're good. All right, so this little card is going to be an issue. I'm going to take it out of the other signature that I put it in, and we'll just figure out. I guess I can cut this in half now. So I could cut that in half, and I could just put those in as little pockets. So we're not finished with the book, even though we're close to being finished. So now we're just going to go to the second spot for our signature, and I'm going to put that in. I'll go over real quick how I got my placement. I took a sheet of paper and I just put it in the spine, and I folded it in half, and I got my signature. So what I normally do when I get my placement, I just fold it in half, and then I'll take this and I'll fold it in half again. So now we have equal parts. I usually just draw a line across those folds because I know those folds should be true. And then I'll take the paper and fold it in half. Especially if I'm having 3 signatures, I'll usually fold it in half. And then I just kind of eyeball where I want to put that. But in this case, we only have 2 signatures. So this middle piece is to poke holes through our actual signature and not the spine. I absolutely find this page to be so pretty. Like, you know, you could take a paper like this. I don't know how you would do it, but you could take a paper like this and put some, you know, run it, copy it through lighter. Of course, I would do like a washout or watercolor, whatever they call it now. It used to be watercolor, I think, where it's like a lighter picture. You can change the image. And I would do that, and I would put lines on it, and you can make like 4 or 5 pages of just that, if that was your theme, right? So now we're just going to go ahead and sew in this second signature. I hope that you all are doing well. I do appreciate all the kind comments that you all have been leaving throughout the series, and I do appreciate the well wishes that you sent to me yesterday. I do not know what is going on with me. Not on a like, oh, bad side, just I have really bad muscle issues. Musculoskeletal system is barked, and so if I sit too long in a position, or if I lay wrong in a position, I tend to have issues. So yesterday I was sitting and my back was like flaking out on me, so I just decided to go for a walk. And you know how, if you ever look at the evolution of man, how they look like they're monkey and then they crawl, that's how I look, but in reverse. Like, I left the house and I was crippled over. I really need to I really looked like I needed a cane or something. And then over time, as you know, my muscle, the fluids in the muscle started to like lubricate whatever was aching, I I got better. So yeah, so now we're gonna go from the top portion down to the bottom. I wouldn't say I got better, but I was able to stand up upright and actually walk. It is no fun having back issues. I remember, I think I've said this before. Yeah, I did recently, probably, where my mom used to say, "Oh, you think this is fun?" Like, I never laughed at her, but you know, she'd be moaning, trying to stand up or whatever. She'd say, "Just keep living, just keep living." And I plan on doing that for a long time. So I need to stop hurting so much. I think I just need to incorporate more movement. But as you all know, I fell in February. Oh my goodness. And I was not able to walk properly. I was having a lot of pain. So I'm just now getting over that, and I started working out right in my little exercise machine, and I started having pain. So I have an appointment, a phone appointment today with the doctor, and I'm hoping that we can figure some things out. So that's the goal. I tend to just get into this headspace of I don't want to bother anyone, and I don't want to be bothered when I can't function properly. And walking is a function that we take for granted, those of us that have, you know, are able-bodied people that can't walk, and they you know, they don't take certain things like people that can walk or anything for granted, I think. And I think that's just a good humble factor for all of it. It's a good way to be humbled. In general, I'm just trying to make sure I don't go through this thread, which I think I did on one of them, so I have to pull the needle out. You know, when I was a little girl, I enjoyed sewing so much. When I used to make my Barbie clothes and just sew just random stuff. Like, I was never like into sewing like adult or human clothes, but I would cut up clothes and make Barbie doll clothes out of it. And yesterday, thankfully, we finished my son's little float. I'm so happy about it. He did some work. He wanted to play with the float. And I was like, once we let the teacher see it, then you can do the float. You can play with it. Because he was trying to dry the thing. I mean, it's a little Hot Wheels float. So I think maybe I'll make a video of him pulling the string, and I'll upload it. Maybe we'll see how that works out. It's hard to like record it, so I'm gonna double knot this. I always double knot them, just because you probably don't need to double knot it, but I do. And we made this string super long, didn't we? Let's cut this down some. The good thing about baker's twine is that it's not that expensive, and you don't have to worry about waste. And I hate to waste the cords and strings on like the actual wax linen thread. I just prefer not to. So what I will end up doing, we have enough for another signature or maybe 2 signatures, is we'll just take this and put it back in its place, and we will make another signature. We'll make another journal, just not anytime soon. Meaning in the next 5 to 10 days, we won't be making another journal. But, you know, we can make one in the middle of May. All right, so this is how our signature looks. I think I'm going to try and cover this up with something. Now, I've seen people put buttons on there. You need to string the buttons on as you're doing this, though. So we won't put buttons unless I just glue it on there. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. We could do some lace or something like that. So we'll see. All right, so here is our signature. Now let's go ahead and put some stuff in here and make it look like we really care about our work. I'm going to go ahead and cut this down first, and we're going to put this right here. Why not? I mean, it's waiting there. It was waiting for us to do something super cool like that, right? So let's get our paper trimmer out, cut this line off. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it twice. I'm going to try to cut it twice. So we got that one, and you see this little flap fold thing. We're going to cut that off because we no longer need that. We needed it when we were going to put it in. And this paper feels like it's double coated, so that could be why I couldn't fold it over, and I didn't really give it a good try, because I mean, there's no sense in fighting some things, right? All right, so we're going to use some tape. Yeah, you thought I was going to say glue, didn't you? I fooled you. We're going to use some tape, and we're just going to, now we're just dressing up our book. I try to do most of the dressing ahead of time, just because it is easier, in my opinion, to get everything worked out how you want to get it worked out, except for things that may need to be a certain length. Then you want to be careful with that. You don't want to try to work on it and then it doesn't fit. And I've done that before myself, so speaking from experience. So today is Monday. They're supposed to be doing placement tests at the school this week. I didn't read the teacher's message until late, and so I sent her a message yesterday, although she wasn't, she doesn't have to respond to it. I just sent the message because it said after hours. Working hours are through the week, but hopefully she'll read it today and give me the okay to take the little guy in today, and then he can take his float and she can see the float. So we'll see how that works. So we're just gonna burnish all of this down just like that. And then my doctor's appointment, which is a verbal appointment. And I have a new doctor, and I am wondering if she's as much as a butthead as she was on the phone in person. I'm gonna have to swap out doctors. Y'all don't need the nonsense. I don't need that from her. I'm in a group, a family medicine group, so the doctors swap out or whatever. And I'm okay with that. Like, I don't mind her if she's going to be nasty to me. But the last time we spoke was the first time we met and she was rude. So I have an issue with that. Learn my personality first and then be mean to me, Don't be mean to me and you don't even know me. Take me out first. Take me out on a date and see how much money I spend on yours. And then you can be rude to me. So we got this right here. We're going to go ahead and put some of our... I want to talk about this. So, I always tell you you can put your stuff in a Ziploc bag. Here is the Ziploc bag that I'm currently using to use with our crafty projects. And we're going to use some K & Company stuff. So this is just a good way to keep all your junk organized. So you don't have to worry about losing any of it. It's all in the same spot. And now you can just go ahead and do whatever it is that you feel is important for you out of that bag versus having it all over the place. So we're going to use this, and I like to look at what's in here. So I think what we're going to put is beautiful. I think I've used some things out of here. So ooh, hopefully we didn't use beautiful. Now this is where I tend to have a problem, because I do like less is more, but I also like more is prettier sometimes. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So we're going to put beautiful right here. Because why not? I mean, it's so nice. I do have some other stickers that we could try and find. But I think beautiful just fits. We will be putting stickers in here. Because stickers tend to be pretty decent, right? For projects like this, we're going to use some glue. So now we're just putting around the book. That's what I like to call it. Like the book is done, but it's like a house. The house is built, but it's no curtains. It's no fixtures, so to speak. You have your banister, but nothing's decorated on there. So now here we are to come and make a big mess on the center of this white sheet of paper. Here we are to fix everything up and make it look presentable, because we want to sell the house, right? Or we're moving into the house. So we bought the house and we want to move in. Now you see, I just made that way worse than it needed to be. I probably could have used my gum eraser and picked it up, but we'll come back to that. And there we are. Yay. I always try not to drop glue on the projects, and I tend to always have to cover something up. So if you ever see something randomly placed and you didn't see me make a mess and I don't tell you about it, then it's randomly placed. But if it's just oddly in there, then you know what happened. So we got the front page. We're going to leave this page blank. We're going to leave a lot of the pages blank, even though we have all this stuff that we can put in here. All right, I want to put this page down somewhere. I'm thinking in the back. Let's see if we can get this in the back of this book. Yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna we're going to make a little tag, a little pocket spot for this. Just like that. And we could make an envelope pocket spot. No, I want to make a pocket spot. So what I want to do is keep that in my head, keep that thought in the head. I want to try, I never do this, but I tend to just be all over the place when I'm creating, because my brain is like, oh, let's do this page, let's do that. So let's go back to the first signature, first page, first couple of pages, right? And let's see. We're going to have a few tag spots. Like right here, we're going to make a tag spot, right? All right, let's see. I feel like the book is done, but it's not. It needs some more dressing to it. But I'm going to work on this offline, and if I feel like we need to come back to it, we will. If not, today is the last day for the journal. Tomorrow we will do a flip through of the journal, and we'll move on. So I want to say thank you all for watching. Until tomorrow, happy CREDA.